It is what it is. The tone is going to be what it is. And you want me to go between Farrakhan and Uncle Phil? Uncle Phil is a character. Non-black counterpart. I'm telling you, when I look at my non-black counterparts who do what I do, they don't have to hear this tone stuff from their women. They don't have to hear the same thing because their women expect men to speak in a powerful tone. Our women have grown accustomed to men kowtowing and not saying what's on our mind. It's like women often say, it's a new day. Sis, it's a new day. This is the new black man. And it's only gonna grow bigger. Y'all better get used to the tone because we all y'all got. I appreciate what you're saying.
I think you're kind of missing the point.
I get what you're saying, but it's not, ma'am, I've heard this for 3 years. I'm not going to talk like Steve Harvey or these other people. And I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to, bottom line, man, then who, okay, here's a question for you.
We'll agree to disagree.
Hold on. Whose tone should I, what black man has the right tone? How about that?
Okay, so I'm going to specify what tone I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it comes down to these women trying to say, why.
Give me an example. Give me an example of a black man whose tone
like a woman. Excuse me, say that again?
Give me an example of a black man whose tone is about right.
I'm not. See, because I don't think you're getting.
Stop. No, stop. Tone, delivery, whatever it is you're talking about, give me the example of a black man who has it about right. Don't get stuck on the word tone. Outcome.
That's
ma'am, give me an example of a man who's
my
doing
husband,
it.
I guess my husband.
Don't nobody know your husband?
All right then, but I don't specifically.
Okay, ma'am. I'm not asking you a trick question.
I do not know of a black man randomly who's a celebrity. I can say their tone is right, like, because I guess the way I'm trying to explain.
Then how do you? Okay, listen what you just said. You want me to do something or improve something, and you can't even point to an example.
Kevin.
Ma'am, that's
okay.
Understand. That's what you just said.
Can I say one thing?
You for an ma'am, calm down. Hold on. Follow me here. I think we're somewhere. You want your kid to make up a bed. You show them how to make up a bed. You give them an example. You don't say figure it out or how my cousin used to do it. Give me an example of a man, not your husband. I don't know him.
I don't know, Uncle Phil from freaking Fresh Prince or something. Can I just say one thing? Let me explain something.
No. I want you to see what I want you to do is if this is a big enough thing for you to ask me to do, I'm willing to hear you, but you gotta meet me where I'm. See, this is one of the issues. Stop. I need you to stop. This is one of the big issues. Our women do not want to give us what we need to get better. I'm asking you, give me an example. And you're just like, whatever, Uncle Phil. If it ain't Uncle Phil, don't tell me Uncle Phil. Don't move forward. Do not pass go. Stay right here and think about an example. If it's that important to where you got on here to talk to me, I'm listening. Give me the respect of giving me an example. Think about it.
So you want me to give you an example of a man whose tone is good? Pretty much you're saying?
An example of a man whose delivery, whatever you want to call it. You understand the overall sentiment. Not your husband.
I wouldn't. I don't know.
So what I want you to understand.
So do you mean like? Can I say?
No, ma'am. What I want you to understand is you want me to do something, and I'm asking you how to, and you're not even telling me what it is. How can I do that? How can I change my delivery? How can I change my tone if you can't tell me and show me an example?
Can I give you an example of what I mean of something that
you give me an example of a. You give me an example of a person, because you have to be okay. See, there's something. Excuse me. There's something in your mind that you're comparing this to. There's an example you're comparing this to. What's that example?
I'm comparing to an example on, for example, if a woman calls and she says she has 3 kids.
A man, no. And who has the right tone, delivery? What's the example?
I told you Farrakhan. I gave you him as an example.
Farrakhan.
He's a great teacher. I love the way he teaches and he puts things across.
You want me? You say I should Farrakhan?
I didn't say.
Excuse me, Farrakhan.
You're trying to twist my words.
I want to be clear. Stop. I want to be clear. Are you saying Minister Louis Farrakhan is an example? Is that what Is that what you're saying?
You just broke up. Can you say that again?
Are you saying Minister Louis Farrakhan? I'm
just giving that as an example of somebody who teaches in.
Okay, ma'am. Have you heard? Farrakhan is far harsher than I am.
Can I speak and say something?
Sure.
Because you're asking questions and I feel like you're leading a narrative somewhere. Listen, when it comes to gender,
everybody in the chat room seems to get it. You don't get it.
You're not letting me explain at all. Like, I'm trying to get something across.
30 seconds, go.
Okay. I'm trying to say, when I'm explaining to you your delivery, as a man, the way you speak, if you were a husband or just a man out there, that's great. The same way I feel that a woman in the workplace should be a little bit aggressive, but when it comes to her home, she should be feminine. So you're talking to me about other men when that's not the issue. A man should be a leader and should not have to listen to anything that a woman says, especially if he's a real man. But I'm talking to you as a person that has a platform that is teaching. Whether you are a man or a woman, I would have told you the same thing. So it doesn't come down to necessarily anything of you being a man. I'm just talking when you're educated.
Okay, hold on. Ma'am, I grew up listening to pastors and preachers. And let me tell you, what I'm saying is light. What I'm saying, growing up in the Baptist church, see, we don't even preach sin in today's church. We got single mothers with 3 kids by 4 different dudes sitting on the front aisle. I grew up in the Christian church, Baptist, then went to Church of God in Christ. I hung with members of the Nation of Islam, Fruit of Islam. And let me tell you something. Those men talked about something a hell of a lot different. See, our problem is our women aren't used to any criticism or critique. It is what it is. The tone is going to be what it is. And you want me to go between Farrakhan and Uncle Phil? Uncle Phil is a character.
You're literally just trying to drag words out of me to make it seem.
I answered the question 18 different times.